Let's start with the team in Tallahassee, the Florida State Seminoles. You know that team that went undefeated, won the ACC last year, quiet and whine about not making the playoffs when people like me was trying to tell y'all weren't going to make it because of the injury of Jordan Travis. But nobody didn't want to hear that. We went undefeated. We won every game. We shouldn't even be that. If the playoff committee said you have to look the part, not just play the part, and you don't look the part when you won a game, when you won your ACC championship game in the most boring championship game of the year, you're not going to make the playoffs. You won, you cried, and all your stars didn't want to play in a bowl game against Georgia in the Orange Bowl. Georgia wanted to make a statement, which they did. They beat you 60. They put up 63 points. That's all I know. They put up 60 points. I don't even forgot what score Florida State had. When Georgia can score 60 on you something is wrong. Okay, something is seriously wrong. But you didn't show up for the Orange Bowl. And before I continue, Victor's in the building. What's up, Victor? How you doing? Hey, how you doing, Mr. Playmaker, the hardest working super hacker in the broadcast testing program? He sends greetings to the EP of all EPs, Cole Johnson, and the head eagle in charge himself, Cool McCain, which I'm pretty sure he's not happy with what took place on Monday Night Football, but we talking college, so Cool can sit back and feel good about this. Undefeated, didn't show up for the bowl game, so you got your behind beat. You go into this season, you take your asses over to Dublin, Ireland to go against the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, and you don't finish the deal. They were able to keep the game-winning field goal, and they beat you in Dublin, Ireland. And week 0, you're 0-1 to start off, and 0-1 in the ACC, by the way, because that was an ACC game. Week 2, you come home on Labor Day, by the way. Which means you had a full 11 days to get ready for Boston College. And what did? They beat you. Now you're 0-2 in ACC play, and you 0-2 overall. And then this past week, Memphis beat you. Now you're 0-3. You're 0-3. You scored 46 points this season in 3 games. That is 15.3 points per game. That means you can barely score 2 touchdowns with the extra point and a 2-point conversion. That's all you can muscle up per game. While your opponents are scoring 72 points, which is 24 points a game, which means they're scoring 3 touchdowns with 3 extra points and a field goal. That is +9 for the opponent. That is -9 for Florida State. You have a turnover ratio of -3. You committed 4 turnovers on offense, and your defense only got you 1. That doesn't help. You're passing. You're completing 56% of your passes. You're passing for 222 yards a game. You only have 1 touchdown to 2 interceptions. Your running game. Oh, Cole Johnson loves running game. So Cole Johnson is going to love this statistics for Florida State. 71 carries for 156 rushing yards. That is 52 yards a game. That is 2.2 yards per carry, and you have 3 rushing touchdowns in the season. But we're talking about Florida State here. Cool, McCain. You're a Miami Hurricane fan, so you know the history of Florida State. The numbers that I just threw out there, are these alarming numbers to you when it comes to Florida State? When you hear the word Florida State, do you see these numbers associated with Florida State before I just said these numbers? I just want to throw that out there. Scoring 15 points a game, giving up 24. 2.2 yards per carry. 2.2 yards per carry. And all my life, and I'm a Gator fan, I have never thought I would see numbers like this from a Florida State team. Never. This is atrocious. This is terrible from Florida State. This is absolutely terrible. And Cool McCain chimes in. He says, no. I'm talking to a Hurricane fan, so he would know this just as much as I would. These is not the numbers we expect from Florida State, even though me and him both, we can't stand Florida State. But this is just terrible. This is terrible right here. Let's go to the defense. Defenses are allowing 64.8% of the passes being completed against them. Teams are throwing for 174.4 yards a game with 4 touchdowns to 1 interception. Remember, I told you they had a turnover ratio of -3. They only had 1 defensive turnover. It's the interception. Rush defense. Let's see how the rush defense is, because they had a hell of a defense when you go to Florida State. Teams have carried the ball for 120 times. They have ran for 518. That is 172.7 yards per game. They are averaging 4.3 yards a carry with 5 rushing touchdowns. This is on the Florida State's defense. So while you're getting 2.2 yards a carry on offense, the opposing team is getting 4.3 yards a carry on offense. You're only getting 52 yards per game rushing. The opponent is getting 173 yards per game. That is 123 or 21 difference in rushing yards. Difference. And one of the most crucial downs there is in football is the third down. Florida State is 23.3% on third down on offense. The opponent, so when Florida State's defense is on the field, they had 50%. I don't know. I just don't know. I gave you all the losses that they had, right? But let me put it on the screen for it, because I do have it on there. So you lost 24-21 in Ireland to Georgia Tech. Boston College ran through you. And if Coach Johnson is still watching, maybe he can remind me of the official numbers. But I do recall that Boston College almost ran for 300 yards on y'all, and y'all weren't even close to 100 yards rushing. And that's how you got your ass whooped 28-13 at Doak Campbell Stadium. Doak Campbell Stadium, that's in Tallahassee, Florida. Oh, and speaking of Doak Campbell Stadium, you was there like this past weekend, and Memphis walked in there and beat you 20-20. Mike Norvell's former team, before Mike Norvell became the head coach of Florida State. Those of you who don't know, Mike Norvell was the head coach of the Memphis Tigers. Remember the years when the Memphis Tigers and the USC Knights were battling back and forth in this little rivalry they had going on for the American Conference? Yeah, Mike Norvell was on the sideline for the Memphis Tigers. And Scott Frost was on the sideline for UCF. Mike Norvell was doing so good, Florida State called him instead of Deion Sanders to coach Florida State, because what he was doing in Memphis. That same program walked into Doak Campbell Stadium this past Saturday and beat them 20-12. Y'all couldn't even beat Mike Norvell's former team from the American Conference. That's why it was interesting when I did my little tirade when the Clemson Tigers and the Florida State Seminoles renewed their revenue shares talks with the ACC, and it was talking about brand valuation and TV revenue. That's why I said it, because the Florida State Seminoles are 0-3. They haven't won a damn game. And if you notice, none of the teams that they have played are ranked when they played them. Georgia State wasn't even thought of when the rankings came out, and Florida State was already ranked in the top 10. They didn't change. No, the committee didn't make no change. They said not everybody plays, so we're going to keep Florida State at 10 when we go into Labor Day. And then Boston College ran all up down the field on you, so you had 2 top 10 losses. You had 2 losses as a top 10 team out the gate. So you went from that to being underranked, and then Memphis just beat you. One of the differences in Florida State this year than previous years is quarterback play. DJ Uiagalelei. He is 55 for 99 passing. That is 56.6% completion percentage. Passing for 666 passing yards. That is 222 passing yards per game. 6.7 yards per attempt. He has only passed for 1 touchdown. He's only threw 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions. This man started at Clemson, felt some type of way about that. Well, Sweeney transferred to Oregon State. Did pretty good at Oregon State. They didn't want to stay there because he felt he couldn't get the notoriety out of shine at Oregon State, especially what happened to the Pac-12. Now they're at the Pac-2. So he went to Florida State to take over for Jordan Travis, who is now in the NFL recovering from ACL surgery, being a backup to Aaron Rodgers and Tyrod Taylor. So you bring in DJ, you bring in a veteran in college terms. And this is the position that you're getting from him. It is not very, but not good. You complete more than 50% of your passes. Okay, you is putting the ball in. You're giving the nice over 200 yards passing yards, but you only got one passing touchdown, and you threw 2 interceptions. It's not looking good for you, DJ. And Florida State fans can't stand you right now. You want to tell you how I know? Because I got a lot of friends that are Florida State fans, and trust me, they be all up and down my social media timeline going off about you and Mike Novell. But I don't. You hear your next 5 games. I see Cal, who is undefeated, but haven't. The only game that I really care about Cal is they went to Auburn. They beat Auburn in Auburn, by the way. Outside of that, they haven't really done nothing. SMU. We're going to get to see what SMU was looking like this weekend. And that may be shining some light when the Florida State Stems got to head to that area of the Dallas-Fort Worth area to take on the Mustangs. And then it's the usually the battle for the conference. Well, it won't be that this year, between Clemson and Florida State in Doak Campbell Stadium before they head to Duke on October 18th, and then their fateful game down in Coral Gables, Miami, when you go take a visit to the Hurricanes, who are ranked 8th in the country, by the way. I don't even know what games I can pick for y'all to win. I really don't know. I would say Cal, because I've never seen Cal be good in anything football since Aaron Rodgers and Marshawn Lynch. SMU, they always up and down. You can never tell. Clemson, that was Sweeney. He's struggling. He don't know how to use the transfer portal. He don't want to use the transfer portal. He wants to develop his players. That development of players is not working out the way that he wanted to work out. So I don't even know how that game's going to go. Duke is 3-0, and they had a whole coaching staff change. And they working undefeated. And then if Miami don't beat y'all by 50, I'll be surprised. Even though it's a rivalry game, it's Miami, bro. Miami's a whole different ball club right now. I don't know what to tell you. And then there's Mike Novell. People in Tallahassee and Florida State fans all over this state. They are so disappointed in you, sir. So disappointed in you. Oh my gosh. The level of play from the Seminoles as distraught fans all through this state of Florida. You don't believe me? They are coming to the stadium with paper bags over their heads with the writing 0-12 and a question mark. They're looking like can Florida State go 0-12 already, and you got another fan coming to the game with a sign around his neck that says, "We are cooked." This is what it's like in Florida State right now. 3 weeks into the new season. 3 weeks. It says 3 weeks into the new season. This is what they're like. But they ain't the only team. As you can see, look at this. That's what is going on in Tallahassee right now. This is what it's like to be a Florida State fan right now. This is what it is. There's nothing else I can tell you.